Greetings, wanderers. Tonight, under the ancient canopy of Yggdrasil, let me spin you tales whispered in the winds. I am Hallbjørn, your guide through the 9 realms of Norse mythology. From Odin's wisdom to Loki's mischief. From the birth of worlds to the impending twilight that is Ragnarok. These are the stories etched in the stars. As we gather around this fire, may embers of these Norse tales kindle a flame of inspiration and curiosity in our hearts and our minds, forging a connection to the ancient sagas that will endure long after the last ember fades. Asgard is the home of the Aesir. It is here that they make their home. It is here that treasures and weapons of the gods can be found, such as Thor's hammer and the Gungir spear of Odin. It is here you will find Odin himself with his knowledge and his inspiring Mead. It is here you will also find Valhalla, a mead hall dedicated to those chosen by the Valkyries from the battlefield. The place of the valorous dead, the honored warriors, the Einherjar. Those lone warriors, as well as Heimdall, guardian and watchman of Asgard and the Bifrost Bridge to Midgard. He was birthed from 9 mothers. His eyes could see across the cosmos. His ears could hear grass growing. And it is he who will blow the Gjallar horn at the end of days. A horn that could be heard throughout the 9 realms and would only be sounded at Ragnarok. Asgard truly is a place of riches, wisdom, and power, making it a target for the Jotun and the agents of discord. The Einherjar, the gods, Heimdall, all good fighters, all with their weapons. But a fortress cannot be defended by warriors and weapons alone. One fateful day, a builder came to Asgard. He offered to build a wall with fortifications around Asgard, the entirety of the realm. He said he could complete the work in 3 seasons, but demanded in return the hand of marriage of the goddess Freya, the goddess of fertility and love. He also demanded the sun and moon as recompense. It was then that the gods had a meeting. Obviously, they found his demands to be unreasonable and had no intention in meeting them. Freya, of course, objected to any marriage, but also the loss of the sun and moon would surely darken the realms. But Asgard was still in need of fortification. Before the gods could agree in rejecting the builder, Loki spoke up. He, too, agreed that his demands were unreasonable. He stated that they could bluff, possibly get some free fortification, as long as they gave him an equally unreasonable deadline for his demands. With Loki's counsel, the gods agreed to the builder's demands, but only if he could complete the work in 1 winter, and only be assisted by his horse. The builder called the bluff and agreed to terms. With that, at the beginning of the winter, he started to work. The weeks went by, and the walls went up. The gods were astounded with his rate of work, and what worried and astounded them more was the builder's stallion. It wasn't until this moment that they realized this stallion was named Svadilfari and was the strongest horse in the 9 realms. He could do more work than the builder, drag stone and tree through feet of snow. And so it came to be that mere days of winter remained. The wall was almost finished, the fortifications almost strengthened. The gods continued to worry further, and Freya, most of all, started to turn their frustration to Loki. Once again, before Loki could be beaten into pulp by the angry gods, most of all Freya, Loki set to scheming, convinced the gods to spare him, and oathed to fix the situation. The dusk before winter's end, the builder and his stallion were collecting logs and stones in the nearby forest, when Svadilfari suddenly spied a beautiful mare. Out in the distance on a hill, glistening in the sunlight, the stallion, so overcome by the beauty of the mare and the swelling of his heart, reared up, broke his reins and lead, and chased after the mare into the forest. The builder, surprised and no match for the strength and speed of Svadilfari, could only sit and watch as his steed chased the mare out of sight and over the hills. The builder did what work he could that night, but without his stallion, the sun came up at winter's end, revealing his unfinished work, a mere few stones on the gates of Asgard. He came to the gods rampaging, accusing them of trickery, revealing himself to be a Jotun, and now intended to take Freya by force. Thor, the Jotun slayer, rampaged back, doling out a payment fitting of his unfinished work, his treachery, and aggression. The Thunder God smashed Mjolnir into the Jotun's skull, bursting it into sand, dying with him the secret of the fortifications. Thus, Asgard received more protection. And once again, afterward, the gods found themselves with more peace and quiet, for Loki had not been seen or heard from for many months. Right when the gods were fearing the worst, or best for him, Loki arrived back in Asgard. In his arms, he held an 8-legged foal. This horse would grow to become Sleipnir, the fastest horse in all the 9 realms, and would eventually become Odin's steed. A gift to the Allfather, all because Loki shapeshifted into a mare during the fortification of Asgard. Swelling of his heart.